Trent and Jason from Thunder Underground here. Today we're going to talk about the brand new Hatebreed album, Weight of the False Self. It comes out next week, Friday, November 27th. That'd be the day after Thanksgiving. Black Friday is officially now Hatebreed Day.
It's Hatebreed Friday, so the Black Friday.
There you go.
Just jumping right into it. This record, Hatebreed's like, we talked about this earlier. Hatebreed's like AC/DC. You know what you're going to get. It's not broke, don't fix it. But for some reason, I don't know, this record has hit differently than the last couple. Not to down anything they do, but for some reason, this one's just, I don't know, it just hit that spot. And this is a banger, as Jasta would say on his podcast. It's a banger.
Right.
And I'm excited to talk about it.
Yeah, that's a great point because, you're not really downplaying it because this is their 8th studio album. Anytime a band has a lot of albums, even if you like all of them, there's always going to be one or two that you like a little more. And
right.
This, to me, you told me, like you had listened to it before me, and you messaged me and said, man, this thing's pretty insane. And I was thinking, well, like you said, we know what we're going to get for the most part. Right. There's always songs that jump out, but then when I listen to it, I'm like, I get it, because this might be my favorite Hatebreed album in 15 years.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know.
From start to finish.
And when you said that, when you texted me that, I was like, well, maybe he's right. Maybe I'm just drunk. But no, the day late, the morning after, no, that was a great fucking record.
Yeah.
So we could just stop now, and you just need to know you need to go listen to this. But
we're not gonna.
No, we're not, and please keep watching. But you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, this album, 12 tracks. I think 5 of them are over 3 minutes. So you're getting an average of like 3-minute songs. What you're going to get from Hatebreed. You got about 35 minutes worth of music here. And it's one of those albums that, like we said on our podcast, hashtag all killer, no filler.
Definitely.
You'll pop this thing on, hit play, and you don't need to skip anything.
No, not at all.
That first track's just out of the gate, just, like Hatebreed, like you expect from them.
Right.
And I think, to me, the title track is one of those songs that once things get back to quote unquote somewhat normal and Hatebreed's able to go back out on tour like everybody else, the title track's one of those songs that I believe is going to be a set list staple.
They better play it live every fucking time they hit a stage.
Just like the last album had Looking Down the Barrel of Today, which to me has to be a future live staple.
Mm-hmm.
I think Weight of the False Self has to be a future live staple. There's several songs on here, like Hatebreed's always been great about having several songs on every album that's kind of, like you said, anthems. Those kind of songs that, people can sing along to. And this album, I think probably every track could be considered that.
Right. I really love Set It Right, Start With Yourself.
Yeah.
I love the message of that. It really kind of elaborates on one of my favorite memes of all time, which is, before you criticize somebody, remember that you're probably a piece of shit. And then Let Them All Ride is fucking brutal. Cling to Life and Stroke of Red have some great guitar work by Wayne Loziniak, which is awesome. What makes hardcore and Hatebreed, what makes it better? Just badass guitar solos. And so
it's not a common theme in hardcore music.
But see, that's the beauty of Hatebreed, is that they can do all this and not look stupid. They can mix it all up, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
And it definitely makes sense on this record.
Yeah, and that guitar solo in Cling to Life, man, that's just blazing.
Yes. Dig Your Way Out is just thrash fucking tastic.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
A Stroke of Red and Invoking Dominance, to me, both those tracks.
Yeah, like I said, Stroke of Red. Yeah.
Both those tracks have very Slayer infused moments in the music,
Mm-hmm.
and even the vocals at times too. I mean, Hatebreed's always kind of been one of those bands that when they slightly stray away from the hardcore sound and go slightly more metal, it's always had a Slayer feel to me. It's got like this riff and everything just to me has that feel.
Yeah.
And that's another great thing about Hatebreed is they've always been one of those bridge bands. They were kind of the bridge band for us, I think, to get in more into hardcore like 20 years ago.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, if I hadn't had Hatebreed, I definitely would never have, looked into Madball or Agnostic Front.
Right.
Or whatever. So, I mean, and this record is just like, it just seems like, I don't know, it's like maybe it was, because of what's going on in the world today, it just feels like the gloves came off, and they're like, all right, that's it.
Yeah.
And they killed it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know they've been sitting on this for a few months, but I'm glad that it's finally here. And this is, like we've already said a few times, I think this is one of those albums that, years from now are going to be one of those landmark Hatebreed albums.
Definitely.
I'll say it. It's
Oh, yeah.
2020, and they're still putting out albums that are at the top of their game. Like, these 5 guys are all exceptional at what they do. And 2 of them have been on our podcast.
Yes.
Matt Byrne, the drummer, has been on this podcast one time when they came through Tulsa. And then earlier this year, during the pandemic, once that started, we got to have Florida Frank on here. And that's a great one. That was almost an hour, I think, long. And
yeah, both guys were amazing to talk to and down-to-earth dudes. Definitely check that out.
Yeah. So, yeah, right below this, there's links for the podcast. Wherever you listen to podcasts, subscribe to us there. And right below this video as well, subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss any future videos. We also had one just recently for Dark Tranquility and their new album, which is out November 20th. We've had recent videos over Metallica, Alter Bridge, Havoc, Saul, a few other bands. And our podcast, we've had on, like we said, 2 guys from Hatebreed. I've had on a ton of other hardcore guys. We used to have the singer from Nasty, a band out of Belgium. If you're a hardcore fan and you haven't heard of them, check them out. But we've had on guys from Megadeth, and Testament, Death Angel, Toxic Holocaust, Seven Dust, Crowbar, Superjoint, a long list. So dig through all our stuff, check it all out. We'd appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon.